again. Today, I think this is the third thing we are meeting up. Fantastic. When I was looking for the topic, what I'm supposed to talk, I just feel why not I go back to the same free radical, because that's one of the very important area which is mostly ignored, because nobody talks about free radical damage. When you either go to a hospital or when you go to a doctor, nobody talks about it, for the reason that it's not seen, or nobody is checking you how much is your free radical damage, and how are we going to compensate it. So saying that, let me share my screen so that it will be more easier. Okay, now here we are with our presentation. Fantastic. All right, now the thing goes on. All right, today is the 55th episode of Water H2O. Now this is amazing, and you can see the wide angle, the degree of the our water molecule should be between 106 to 109 angulation, is called the live water. This I studied or read about it sometime in 2001, very long back, when I was doing some write up and read up about ozone water. I did pick up all the information from there. And now, just for people who are coming in new, or people who want to know a little bit from the free radical, what we spoke the last week, the recap is very simple: is a molecule with one or more unpaired electron. That means there is a loss of electron. One molecule, normally it's paired, two together always, like the yin and the yang, two together always. So when one is stolen by your free radical molecules, so automatically the normal cells lose its one molecule, so it is functioning without that one molecule. So many a times this particular damage is at the cellular level. It's all more or less in the micro level, which even your blood test will not reveal how much of damage has happened at your cellular level. And as I told last week, we do have the external factors, the internal factors, and whatever the factors are, there is a damage going on. Whether it's internal or external, there is some damage going on in our body. Now when we look at this situation, every one of us, you and me, every one of us, from the time we are born until we go to the grave, we are bombarded, like what you see, like a machine gun. It's been bombarding. Once a machine gun is on, continuously it can spew the bullets to the maximum. One zoom, everything is done, something like that. Whether we like it or not, we all are exposed to the free radical damage, irrespective of whatever you take care of it, whatever precautions you are taking, we are still being bombarded. So what do we do? What we need to do is we need to understand the concept first, then things are much more easier for us. Now, as I told you, the free radical damage caused by both exogenous and endogenous, internal and now, very simple. This is something which I thought let me share to you today, is the environmental pollution. Now, what is that environment? We all talk about carbon monoxide poisoning and carbon dioxide more outside, and the vehicular pollution. We all talk about it. But if you go a little deeper and then we look at the minor details, what exactly is happening is these guys down here on the left side, what you see is your lead, your mercury, your cadmium, aluminum, then the arsenic. These are the five major heavy metals. We call them as heavy metals because they can settle much more easily, and their molecular structure is quite big actually. What's happening is these guys are always producing the free radical damage. So what I put in between, what you can see is cheers. That means to say these guys are happy doing what they have to, and on the other side the free radicals pick these molecules, and then they all hunt for the normal healthy cells, and then they in turn do the lot of damage. Now, is that damage only for human beings? I would say no. The whole ecosystem is definitely hampered. and it is jeopardized by this situation where if a city is fully well developed and then there are a lot of vehicles, a lot of industrialization, there is definitely a problem. They will face a lot of diseases. So in that way, if you look at the lead poisoning, very very simple. If you look at the lead poisoning, which happens through the environmental pollution, the moment lead goes inside your body, now what happens is it can penetrate slowly, and these are all in a very very small little units which goes inside your body, and it may take even years, 20 years, 30 years. By the time you have a disease, the lead is fully bombarded inside your body, and then you would face some diseases. And by the time that time, most of the time we would be concentrating on the disease control and the disease, basically to prevent the disease from further damaging, we would like to. But whatever the situation has happened in the past 20 years or 25 years, there's a lot of damage has been happening, and lead inside your body can stay for almost 25 years until you won't even know that it is there, and it can create a problem. Now this is when you're looking at the people, we are all living in the cities, so we do face this challenge, and whether we like it or not, we have to face the challenge. Now whatever the disease we may get, now it is not that just because you're having a lead poisoning inside your body at your cellular level, you're going to get cancer disease, or chronic inflammatory diseases. It can be SLE or whatever the names given to the diseases. We don't know who will get what, we won't know. So in that way, it is the biggest challenge that we may think that this particular person has got lead poisoning, and then okay, we can't correlate a particular disease to but that particular lead alone. There are a lot of situations, like simple in today's life, we all are very quite familiar with a disease called diabetes. We are very familiar, and everybody is proud of telling, I have diabetes, I have blood pressure, I have a heart problem, I went to IGN, I got myself a stent being inserted inside, or some people are very proudly saying, I went for a bypass. Now all these are all situations we have already looking into, wherein there is a solution which the doctors have given you, and that is the situation for you. But is that good enough for you to move forward? Just because you got a bypass done, do you mean to say that you won't have any other problem? Definitely you'll have problem with the liver, problem with the kidneys issue, and uncontrolled diabetes once again, visual problems, then brain retarding, wherein like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you name it, you can have any other disease other than the bypass. So most of the time what is happening is we all get stuck to one disease, and then slowly as we are aging, we start getting more and more diseases, more complications. Now sometimes we will get so fed up that we don't know what to do, because after an age of around 50 or 60, wherein your lifestyle will be not that very active, and you say, and most of them proudly will say, I am retired. But for me, I would say, why should you retire? Actually, you should keep your mind, your mental, your brain active, your body physically active. And if you can work and do something, please do it, because that keeps your body going further, and then it can prevent a lot of unwarranted diseases which can be prevented. And if you look at the mercury poisoning is also from the environment, and then of course if you are eating a lot of fish also, we are seeing a lot of mercury poisoning. Now cadmium is something which many of you would have heard of it. Now the maximum or the more cadmium we are able to see is in your cigarettes actually. So what's happening is, with your knowledge or without your knowledge, this cadmium can go inside, and one of the major problem a cadmium will do for us is going and blocking your filters in your kidneys, your glomerulus, which is actually a single unit of filtration system for your kidneys. So we do have 2 million filtration system, and just imagine if 500,000 of your filters are blocked with cadmium, what will happen? Do you think we can just go down there as you go to a hardware shop and buy your wash basin cleaner, wherein you just pour the liquid and then everything gets cleaned, right? Even sometimes that also doesn't get cleaned, and then probably you might have to use a more powerful suction. But in our kidneys, how can you go and clean it? How can you remove the cadmium from these glomerulus? Now, whether you understand or not, of course, what we are all doing is we are poisoning our own self by doing things which you are not supposed to do it. Now, driving a vehicle is, you and I have no choice. We still use a petrol, and then we have petrol-driven vehicles, diesel-driven vehicles. We do drive, but at the end of the day, you see what we have done in the name of industrialization or civilization or upliftment or evolvement, whatever the names you give. At the end of the day, we create another issue, and then we start looking at solutions for these problems which we have created 20, 30 years ago. Whatever said and done, this environmental pollution is there, especially if you're a city guy living down here. You will face all these problems, from lead to mercury to cadmium to aluminum. Is something very commonly we see is when you cook your food with aluminum vessels, of course, you will have a lot of issues, a little bit of aluminum going inside. So like that, what is happening is the environmental pollution plays a very, very important role in our free radical damage. So like the guy you see on the right side is always there on the move to come and steal your electron, and then they are happily moving around, and then once the disease starts in, the free radical damages, a lot of cellular oxidative stress is created, and then we do face a lot of problem. Now, on the other side, of course, day to day we do have our food and beverages we have been drinking. So what's happening? We certain things you and I cannot prevent. You just go buy a vegetable from your shop, and of course, it contains a lot of pesticides. And if you are drinking bottled whatever juices, a lot of additives you are able to, they have to add additives either for the taste or for preserving. And you can see the artificial flavoring agents, artificial preservatives we use, and genetically modified products, and alcohol and bottled drinks, and these are all also creating free radical damage within our cells. And then at the end of the day, if there is a free radical damage, for example, you cut an apple and then you see a free radical damage for the apple, what you can do, you can just throw the apple out, right? But when it comes up to your own body inside, how are you going to prevent the free radical damage going inside? Now here we have an advantage is our terahertz resonated water. You can use it for cleansing your vegetables and fruits, and so that you are able to at least remove a little bit of pesticides which has been there sprayed for your vegetables to stay longer, and then to prevent even the infection from the flies and other organisms. So on one side, with nature all around, what is happening is we are bombarded with the food which is ready made. Now if you go to any either grocery shop, there are a lot of food packets available which is say instant noodles, instant, all instant. So what's happening is definitely these are all situations where it will cause, if not today, in a long run we will face a problem. Now if you're going to eat instant noodles regularly for 10, 20 years, now after that, when you face a problem with your intestines, are you going to file a case against the noodle company saying that it's because of your this one that today I'm having? We won't actually. We have no such thing wherein we can go, because it's too long a period where people have been consumed, and how do you prove that just because you ate this you're going to get this problem? No, because when you're looking at the free radical damage, it's all at the cellular level. Nobody can pick that particular thing and say, okay, fine, it's because of this. So in that way, when you're looking at the damage without our seeing with our eyes, we are going through a lot of challenges. So we do have to look into it. Now this is something, the most favorable time pass addiction for damage from inside and outside is your with a lot of free radical damage is your cigarettes. Now we have the maximum number of toxins inside the cigarette, and of course, if you look at the person, whoever is smoking, they do know that. In fact, on the cigarettes also, it has been put very clearly that smoking is injurious to health. It is put there. Now, why do these guys put their smoking is injurious to their? Instead of that, they should stop selling the cigarettes. But it won't happen, and it is not going to happen in the future as well. The reason is it's been there for thousands of years where people have been smoking, and it's there actually. So what we need to do is we need to take some measures to see to that whatever is not good for ourselves, we should not do it. Very simple. This is why God gave you the sixth sense, the brain, for you to think and do what is necessary for you. Now, for this, we don't need to put any rules from the government or from any other bodies wherein they don't have to tell you, hey, don't do this because you're going to get this. It is an individual. We all have to take responsibility and see to that we do prevent whatever in best possible for our own self, in whatever little ways we can do, avoid it and prevent it, so that at least we give a healthy future for our children and for our grandchildren and the future generation. We need to look into that. Now, there is something called oxidative stress which happens at your because of your free radical damage. Now, you can actually see the number of diseases down there because of the cellular stress. Actually, we all know that there is something called stress outside, and we would have heard that word very commonly from people telling, they are having stress, right? But just imagine if your cells are having a stress, with whom they can go and tell that, hey, look, this fellow is doing all these wrong things and I'm having a stress in my cell, in my home of the cell, wherein I'm not able to do this function, I'm not able to do this function, I'm not able to absorb my nutrients, I'm not able to throw away the detox, especially the toxic metals, I can't throw out. Now, which cell will go and tell whom? The cells cannot go and talk to you, because the cells only will indicate to you that in the terms of pain, in the terms of discomfort, in the term of lack of sleep, it can in terms of tiredness. All these are all little symptoms your body will be telling you. Only thing is, we do not understand the language of our body, and especially the cellular level. We don't even forget about the we don't even listen to our body when the body speaks something in a bigger form, especially when it comes up to the organs. And so in that way, there is a lot of damages, lot of diseases. Now, whatever said and done, if you look at people who live in villages or kampung, wherein we call them, there's less of pollution, and they do eat natural, or I wouldn't say organic food, their own backyard vegetables they prepare, and then when they eat. Now, what's happening is, you would see that they are much more healthier. And on the other side, people living in in the villages, but with whatever little comforts, attached house, there is no refrigerator there, they don't have a motorcycle, they just go by a bullock cart or bicycles. Now, these people are invariably, if you look at their happiness, the index will be quite high, that they are very, very happy, contented. Unless we go and spoil them, especially the village people, when we go and show off to them that, hey, look, I have such a big car, I built such a big house, and you show them the photos, then that is when they also will feel, yeah, it looks so nice, and then they want to. But when you look at your own cells inside, there are a lot of situations which in a way can be prevented. So we all need to look at the cellular oxidative stress, which is because of the free radical damage from the environmental, from your food, from your stress level. It is there. So in that way, if you look at today, you would see it very commonly in your day-to-day. A person who is just 30 years old, he will look like 40, 45 years old. A 30-year-old young man, you see his head is fully bald, Now, what's happening actually? Why a 30-year? Okay, fine. One side we can say it's genetic. Maybe his dad was bald and that's why. It's okay. But on the other side, if you see, a lot of people are losing hair. A lot of people are, at the age of 30 years, they get diabetes, they get blood pressure. In fact, I came across a person who was only 22 years and he had blood pressure. And 24 years, they have heart issues. And by 30 years, they have been put in a stent inside the heart. Now, all these are happening. Why is that? It's all because of the free radical damage. Without informing us, things are happening to you. So in that way, it is a little challenging. But at on one side, we all need to do consider to change your lifestyle, change the way you are living, and then start moving forward, so that in whatever situations we are able to balance it. So what do we need to do is, This is something which I thought, let me speak to you people today, that what is stress actually is basically simply to reject the, what are you rejecting? The simple, easy solutions. See, sir, many times, like yesterday, this is a practical situation I faced, and then I was talking to one particular person, and she was telling me that she wanted to buy a car which is around 200,000, and I asked her, how much of money do you have? And she said, I don't have any, I have to take a loan. Now when you are going to take a loan, it will be nothing less than around 150 to 160,000 loan. You have to take the remaining 20 to 30,000 or 40,000. It's your savings, you know. You're going to pump in as a down payment. It's your hard-earned money you're pumping in. Now fine, what else? After you buy the car, where are you going to drive? Maybe for the first few days you're going to show off to everybody, saying, hey, look, I bought a new car, and oh, so beautiful. And you really feel, and you will be going on your pump and show to everyone, saying fantastic car or whatever. But at the end of the day, after 1 week or 10 days or 1 month, now what's happening? You still have to pay the monthly installment for the car. It is. So what I asked her was, why are you committing to this when you already have a car and you can commute yourself? Then I asked her very simple, do you have 1 million in your bank? If you have 1 million in your bank, then you want to spend 200,000 for your car, it's still okay, it's fantastic, good. But if you don't have money and you want to take a loan and then you want to buy the car, in what way? So here what I'm trying to tell is, there is a simple solution. Is what is that simple solution? You already own a car and you still can commute in that car. You can still drive down wherever you want to go, and it's still functioning okay. Now why do you want another car? It's because in your mind it's always there, you want a little bit of luxury. It's good, absolutely, I am for you, it is good, but provided if you have read the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad, he very clearly mentioned you should know how to balance your finances. Your financial management plays a very, very important. And today in our day-to-day life, most of us, I would say 90 to 95% of our people down there are totally, financial management is out. That means it's all gone case where you can't do anything. Now when your financial management is out, it will actually backlash in many areas. It will affect your family life, it will affect your professional life, it will affect your social life. There are so many factors. So what's happening now? If you can find, you are contented with what you have, and then if you are able to balance yourself, what will happen is you can actually avoid the stress which is unnecessary. Actually, you don't need to pick the stress upon, and then finally you don't even realize that it is you who decided for all that. But at the end of the day, your planning was not good. In fact, you're making people who give you money in the form of installment basis or in the form of a loan, you're paying two times or three more than what you're supposed to, you're paying. Now at the end of the day, it is a stressful condition. Now with this COVID also, you would understand that there are a lot of situations where you couldn't pay your whatever your monthly installment. Many people were not be able to pay, and then of course it's a stressful condition. What is the solution you're going to do? Now this stress will actually cause a lot of internal free radical damage inside your body, that in turn will trigger diseases. You would have seen a lot of people with stress, lack of sleep. Now once a lack of sleep is there, let me tell you, there are a lot of diseases waiting to come inside your body. It will just bump in and come inside. It won't even tell you that I'm coming inside. This is only the sleeping part. The moment you have stress, what will happen is you will start eating less. But there are people who are eating more as well. But let's go into the people. When you're under stress, you will not eat, you will not sleep, and you won't have mood to do anything. Of course, you will go to the office and you will feel so lousy that you don't want to do any work. You'll just, for the heck of doing, you'll just go sit down there, and then you will finish your work and come back. Now other than that, you will not be able to socialize with your friends, socialize at home. It will be a much more difficult situation, because as a couple, if one person is under stress, the other person also goes through the same, because the reaction will be there to the other person. We are going to show them the whatever your unhappiness, and of course it affects. And if children are there, they are also affected. Now in that way, if you look at small children, they won't know. If a husband and wife is fighting down there, and the children, small babies, you're fighting with your loud voice, and then what's happening? The child won't know. The child will be looking at, in a very fearful situation, that why these people are doing this. My dad and mom, why are they fighting? but at the end of the day, whatever simple solution you could have done before. Now this requires a lot of practice in your life, wherein you need to be very, very humble, down to earth. Be contented with what you have. Don't look beyond your means, and in that way you can actually reduce your amount of stress, and then you can start moving forward. Now, the easiest way I can give some clues to you is stress busters, is basically is breathing. Now, whenever you feel uneasy, now why should you go that whenever you feel uneasy? Forget about that. Make it a practice. Every day morning, 15 minutes, you need to do a little bit of breathing practice. Evening, do the breathing practice. Before you go to bed, just do a little bit of breathing practice. Give a little bit of extra oxygen to your body, and then sleep. It's okay. This is the simplest thing you can do. Being with nature, go to the green park, or go to wherever you want to go. It could be to riverside, a waterfall, a seaside, anywhere. Go with the nature, walk on the grass. These are all simple things what you all can do to reduce the amount of stress, and thereby bring down your free radical damage, which there is no machine showing you, okay, fine, this is the amount of stress you have, this is the amount of free radical damage you have, and this is the number of years you will have probably cancer, or nobody can tell you. It's all out of the blue. Suddenly you will be told you have a cancer, you have a disease which don't know for what it has come, but it is there for you. Another thing, singing is another wonderful way of releasing your stress. Dancing is another wonderful exercise. Now, this is something which I feel today's younger generation, no doubt, they will proudly say, I have registered myself in a gym, and they will be paying 100 ringgits per month, and then finally hardly they'll be going to the gym. It will be 2 days or 3 days, and they will have all the excuses under the sun, right from raining to very hot to tired to busy, all these excuses, and they won't go to the gym. Now, for you to do exercise, you don't need anywhere outside. If it is possible for you to go outside to do, please do it. But if not, you have a room 10 by 10, your room is good enough. Put a mat and then practice some yoga postures, learn some. There are a lot of videos available on the YouTube. Just go pick up one and then start doing exercise, some bending exercise, you have to do something. Now, this is what many of us, we would heard this, that people will be telling, doctor, I'm going for a walk. Yes, you're going for a walk. So what? Just by going for a walk, I don't think you're going to do any big favor for your body, but just by walking. Because what you're doing is just you're taking a walk along. Now, do you know that in your body, with the number of muscles, your joints, what are you doing? Just walking doesn't help you. But instead of that, if you can practice a little bit of yoga. Why I'm stressing upon yoga is something I never practiced it before, but for the past 3 to 4 years I'm practicing yoga. And what exactly did I gain by doing the yoga is, number one is my back pain. I had my L3 L4 disc prolapse, and then how many times I went to the hospital and these guys put injection down there. It will be fine for a few months, and once again I get back. I can't carry weights. This was a problem. But now with yoga and doing a proper exercise and strengthening exercise, toning exercise, I'm not doing a muscle building exercise. I don't need that. But I do strengthen my muscle, I do tone my muscle. This is what you all need to look at. So if you can lift a little bit of weight between 2.5 kgs to 5 kgs of dumbbells, every one of you can do a little bit of exercise for your shoulders, moving around your shoulders, sitting, squatting and getting up and bending down. All these, if you all can do, let me tell you, by 70, 80 years, you still can sit down. Now, the worst part of most of us today is having a Western toilet. Now, if you have a Western toilet and you're practicing right from your younger age group, just imagine after 50 years, I don't think you can squat in an Indian toilet. The Indian squatting style, you won't be able to. But if you can squat in an Indian toilet, don't you think that you will be able to sit down, go up, climb the stairs? All will be easy for you because your knee joint is more flexible. Now, this is where there are a lot of disadvantages of when you're using a Western toilet. But forget it. It's okay. You have a Western toilet in your home. It's absolutely no issues. But can you do that 15 minutes to 30 minutes of exercise where you sit down and get up? This you should start as young as possible. Start. Don't tell me that you want to start at 70 years, because 70 years you can't sit down and get up, you will have a problem. So such of those youngsters, or if you have youngsters at home, you better tell them, start these kind of exercises as early as possible. And to keep yourself fit is another very, very important aspect. You want to prevent Alzheimer's, you want to prevent Parkinson's, what you need to do is exercise. Now, many of us are thinking that just giving the physical body exercise is good enough. I would say no, there is something else you need to do. What is that? It's an exercise to your brain. So what kind of exercise are you going to give? First of all, to give an exercise to your brain, the brain needs a lot of oxygen. It needs oxygen. So what are you doing? If you don't do proper breathing in and out, how you're going to give the extra oxygen to your brain? You won't be able to. So breathing is a very, very important tool for you to make your brain a little more active. Now, other than that, how are you going to activate your brain? Of course, you can do the singing. You can dance. All this is there, but there is something very beautiful you need to do is every day. If you can learn 2 to 5 new words in your life, learn at least 2 new techniques of doing things. It can be your mobile phone, it can be your computer, doesn't matter. Learn something new, learn something new, do something new. You have to give your brain something different so that it will feel. It can be even taking a nail and then hammering your whatever you want to rectify your situation, or your whatever your photo want to be hang. You can just try hitting a nail. Maybe try to use a drill gun, then put the plastic thing, and then you screw it up. You have to, your brain needs to think a little out of the box. And many times we don't allow our brain to think out of the box because we are so used to the conditioning of our life. We are all conditioned. We just do what we know, that's it. We don't want to do what we don't know. We don't do it also. But you want to be an active person until you die, you have to be very, very alert. And we should be very proud that we had a prime minister who was 93 years old, and then he was there as a prime minister, one of the old. It's in the world, it's something new. Now when he can do it, what you and I can't do it, why not? We should also look into, we should become very healthy, even mentally, and that is where we need to work on the brain level. Of course, painting, coloring, your hobbies. Can you believe what is my hobby? My hobby is, what I do is I recycle all the your Dutch lady, what is that, the milk packets, and whatever bottles I get from my medical thing, I recycle it in the form of a vase. I do every, in whatever little way, but every outcome of my whatever I do with the recycling, it will be new actually, because my mind will be telling, okay, you stick this today, you put a star here today, you do a little bit of painting here. So this has been from the time of COVID, I have been practicing this, and then it really keeps your mind very calm. It keeps your brain, especially your right brain, gets activated if you are doing a lot of painting and a lot of artwork. Your right brain will becomes much more, because the left brain already will have a logical one. It knows what you have been taught about mathematics, 1 plus 1 is 2. You already know that. So your left brain has been trained in the materialistic world. But if you're looking at the right brain, it needs a lot of doing things which is beyond a normal comprehension of your brain. You need to do something different. So do that, and then lessen your stress, lessen your the pressure on your brain, lessen your I would say the working of your mind. Now we all know we have a mind, and we all are using it left and right? But many times we get tired using the mind, because at the end of the day, you use your mind, the solution will not come there. The reason is you have never trained your brain for doing things different. So you have to do something. And very important is, for you to become intelligent, intellectually intelligent, what you need to do is, you have to practice this as young as possible and start moving forward, and then do something new and go on changing things. You need to change things. You need to do, for example, if you're driving a car, you park your car a little far away and start walking. It's still okay. Climb the stairs. It's still okay. Maybe one time you just take a train, one time you take a LRT, one time you go by the normal bus. It's still okay. Maybe take a Grab. So do something different so that your brain looks, hey, something new. So it will definitely lessen your stress. Now, what is very, very important, if there is a free radical damage, is the amount of free radical damage you and I cannot avoid it. But what we can do is the amount of antioxidant we are taking in will be the balance. So you definitely need to have a balance of the antioxidants and the free radical, then to an extent everything is balanced. Your disease process can be brought down. Maybe sometime you can definitely prevent a disease coming into you just by keeping a balance of all. It's not just this alone, there are a lot of other factors, but when I'm talking about the free radical damage, there needs to be a balance. Now, when I'm talking about cellular health, every time I'll be telling cellular health, of course, just by doing a blood test, you won't know the cellular health. So you need to go a little more deeper, wherein you need to get your hair analysis or a bioresonance or microcirculation. Of course, even with life cell hydration check, you can get to know a lot of things. What Eddie is doing is a fantastic job, and we do have other beautiful souls who have been doing a lot of live blood analysis, and then they are able to show you a lot of things, right? In fact, in our medical thing, I cannot show you that and say, hey, look, you have so much of toxins. I cannot say that because I don't know. But from Eddie's point of view, there are a lot of things which he has been trained in China, and then he did show to me, and I am really proud to see that this beautiful gentleman is able to give us a lot of information which you may not be able to get in spite of paying some money to get the test done. So this is something everybody is doing a free test, so I think you should invite every one of your friends to get your free analysis. And what Eddie is doing is a great job, where he can at least tell you what is happening inside your body, and then from there, of course, after you drink the water, what happens? These are all, it's there in front of your eyes. There is no magic down here. It is, the magic is basically your body is a magical body, and the water is a magical water, wherein it goes inside and knows what to do. The hydration takes place, and then after that, once an hydration is appropriate, your body is the most intelligent doctor in the world. It can do wonders to you, and it can do everything to you, provided you do what it needs to be done. In that way, I did share this with you, that I had reversed my diabetes, I had reversed my blood pressure, I had reversed my heart block. Yes, I did that. Today at this age, I feel so comfortable, so fantastic. I'm not on any medication, and I don't feel proud that I need to say that I have a stent inside. I don't need it. Now, this is what I am doing today, but tomorrow if something goes wrong and a situation comes in where I might need a stent, I will go ahead and put it. It's okay. But as of today, I avoided it. I have managed it. I have managed my sugar metabolism. I didn't manage my diabetes. I managed my sugar metabolism. I know the secret of the sugar, what it does. What food will enhance your sugar, I avoid it. And then by chance, if I avoid it, or by chance I take sugars also, what I do is I compensate it by doing exercise and burning it off. So basically, you need to have a balance of whatever you do. So what food you eat and how much of calories do you burn. So you need to be a little cautious on this, and then start looking at how do you balance everything. Now, to prevent the free radical damage, what you need to do is very, very simple. Balance your food with good antioxidant rich food every day. Every day, it's not that once in a blue moon you say, I am a vegetarian, I am eating this. Every day if you are eating a non-vegetarian, and every day if you are eating a fried food, and every day you are drinking Pepsi, Coca-Cola, every day you are taking drugs for all of whatever diseases you are, then you are actually putting a red carpet welcome for the free radical damage. And then of course you have to face the situation. When you face the complication, you have to face, and it is you who have to find a solution. Now, after your kidney fails, you want to find a solution. How do you want to find a solution? You may not be able to find a solution, but you may be able to reduce the amount of complications, and then maybe balance it and move forward. And by the time you do all the balancing, your time to leave the body and go would have come, and you will die off, finish. Now, this is what most of the people are doing, and this is what now I would say, let's change. Let's start looking in a different angle. Avoid all the factors that you're exposed to free radical. Now, if I'm going to tell this, are we all going to leave KL or Klang area and just go down to Kampung there, maybe Cameroon Islands up there, and then go and stay there? No, it is not possible. We still have to live in the place wherever you are. That is 100%. But there are some things which you and I can do is at least help your body in terms of giving the required nutrition, required antioxidants, and required necessary water to be drank. Now, whether you eat food or not, if you're giving your body the regular antioxidants. Now, what is that? This is something which practically I'm doing right now. I want to share this is, Today is my fifth day wherein I am on a fruit diet. I have been on fruit diet for the fifth day, and I'm drinking terahertz water and fruits, nothing else. This is my diet for all the 4 days. I don't feel hungry. I don't get. Of course, I used to have gastritis maybe 2001, 2002. Now, after that, I don't have. Now I know I can instruct my body and tell them, hey, look, I'm not going to eat. You better shut off all the system. No acid coming on. That's it. It will shut off. It's like, see, if you are the manager of the factory, you know where to switch off the engine, where to switch off the machine, and when to switch it on, where the lights are. You know what. In the same way, if you are smart enough, you should know your switches of your body, and you should know what to eat, what not to eat, when not to eat, what are the supportive things. You should learn all this because it's your body. You have to. So do not dig your own grave, especially when you're 50 to 60. Facing your disease will be a daunting task. So what I'm trying to tell is, when you're 30s and 40s, don't screw up your body by doing all what is not, eating at the wrong time, going on eating all the oily food, and very fancily drinking Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all the aerated drinks. No, don't do that when you're young, because that slowly will definitely poison you. And a regular detox. Fasting is one of the best method of detox for your liver, kidneys, and your gut system. Give some rest at least. Weekly once at least have a proper fasting, and then maybe, see, some people will say, I'm having gastritis, doc, I can't do anything. I say, okay, no issues. But we do have our terahertz resonated water. Drink terahertz resonated water. Eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, and drink a lot of juices. You can balance what. You don't need to eat rice. You don't need to eat a heavy meal. It is not a necessary. So drinking terahertz resonated water is one of the easiest way for a free radical damage. I think today there are a lot of testimonies there in the group. You can see there a lot of people with skin diseases. After some time, 3 months to 6 months, you can see the skin totally change. And some people, the rashes after drinking the water, immediately within 24 hours, they are able to see some beautiful changes. The face becomes much more glowing, and hair growing, the hair becoming black. You can have umpteen number of innumerable testimonies where people have drank the terahertz resonated water and they have found some benefit. So it is there already. Now, whatever said and done, if 1,000 people have some benefit, you are going to consume the water. Now you should experience your own self. What kind of benefits are you getting? Many times you may not be sensible enough or sensitive enough to understand your body's way of showing you that by drinking the water there is some benefit inside. You may not pick it up, because this I am able to. I do receive this kind of situation where I give the water, they drink for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. After that they say, doctor, I don't feel anything. You don't feel anything. Well, the only thing I can say is probably we are all buffalo skin. It's very thick, wherein we don't even realize what's happening. Now we human beings, we have lost our sensitivity level to an extent where we can't pick signals from the environment. We have lost it actually. If you look at the snakes, if you look at the animals, they can pick up things much faster than you and me. But we all had all these beautiful features of the five senses, but we have reduced it and we started visualizing only through the eyes. We see, if it is there, we agree it, and then only we accept it, something like that. And many things what we hear, we think it is already true. Now that is another problem we are facing. And there are a lot of information which is been bombarded in your Google. All is not true, but it's still okay. What you need to do is get the right information from the right people, so that you're able to at least move forward and then do what you're supposed to do for your own self. Now, antioxidants, can you see here? These are all the antioxidant vegetables and fruits down there. It donates. Now these guys are very beautiful, right from your beetroot to your cabbage to apple, whatever we are talking. These guys are so good that they are ready to donate. They have a lot of empathy towards you, without you asking for the free radical damage. You are not going to eat an apple and say, apple, I'm going to eat you right now, please go inside and then prevent the free radical damage. You are not going to tell that to the apple, isn't it, or to the vegetable. But these guys will go and do what they are supposed to do, because they are ready with the extra antioxidant effect they have, and they will donate it actually. So they are so liberal. Now in that way, we human beings also should be like these guys, right? Like the vegetables and fruits, right? Isn't it? You have to be more concerned with humility, with a lot of empathy, help more people, and especially with the terrace water, which is not costing you a lot. You can actually donate the water to a lot of people, or a lot of orphanage homes, old people whom you feel they might get the benefit. Just donate the water. It will be a fantastic empathy from your side. And then this is what, when nature is teaching us what we need to do, we need to just follow a little bit, practice it, and then move forward. So what is an ideal drinking? Every time I repeat it, it must be whatever drinkable water should have a pH of around 7.4 4 to 8, and then your TDS between 50 to 200, ORP between minus 0 to minus 200 or 300 is good enough. If it is plus, it's not good. Your Pepsi, Coca-Cola is all plus 500, so that is why it is very acidic, and then it will cause more free radical damage. And your water must be clean and free from bacteria, viruses, and parasites. And then of course it should not contain any heavy metals, chemicals, and pesticides. Now why do we have to say all this is, today there are a lot of industries coming out there, and in fact they're polluted water, polluted sewage system, all being drained out, and then sometimes it just goes and collects in the river. Sometimes it goes inside the earth, wherein after we put a bore and then we take out the water, it's all contaminated water. So that's why we need to have a proper filtration system for us to have a proper drinking water. So definitely, if you are looking for a healthy drinking water for the 2022, it will be definitely much more easily available is your terahertz resonated water, which is available right now in Malaysia, and it's much more easier for you to procure it. Even if you don't invest in buying it, it's still okay. You still can buy the pick the water from the people who have the device. And then of course a day comes, definitely you should invest on getting one unit, because it's worth an investment. See, we can have a house of 200,000. So if you have a house of 200,000, what is wrong in spending another 4.8 thousand for you to buy this device and then use it for your own self? It's worth it actually. So you need to know pros and cons of what your financial balancing, and then you need to invest on that. And of course today we have a fantastic or they have manufactured something good for the Chinese New Year with all the stickers down there. It looks so nice with the red color, your root chakra getting activated. And then we have the device right now with the filtration system inside. I think it's nice. I did pick up one to send it to India, and just 2 days ago I have already couriered it to India. Now this is something, it's there. I think every one of you who have not picked it up should look into this. It looks nice, and the device is good for you to use it. Now what are the properties? If you look at, there are a lot of properties available with this particular resonated water. Is one is, it's a good natural detox, it's a good diuretic, it's a good bowel support. Now when you drink this water regularly, of course you will have a proper bowel movements. Many of us would have noticed that after drinking the water you will pass a little more urine, you will rush to the toilet. That's one of the situation where many people will say, doc, I can't drink water. If I drink, I have to go to toilet all the time. It is flushing your system down there. But if you are working in an air conditioned atmosphere and you're drinking terahertz resonated water, you may have to go to the loo a little more than normal, because when air conditioning, your vessels all goes into a spasm, and definitely no other way of the water being thrown out. Actually, if you're outside, at least when you sweat, the water will come out. But in an air conditioned atmosphere, the only way your body can throw it through your kidneys. So that's how you will definitely go to the pass urine. Other than that, the benefits are antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antioxidant, anti-radiation, low viscosity. The angulation is increased, and that's how you can. The hardness of water is much. See, when you sprinkle the water on your face, you feel so nice. And absorption of minerals. Just imagine you are going to probably eat the right fruits and vegetables. There are a lot of minerals in it, right? Now, when there are a lot of minerals, what will happen is, when you drink this water will carry all the minerals and take it inside. So that is how the absorption of minerals is much better with this terahertz resonated water. And the good news is, 1 glass of this water is almost equal to 3 glass of other normal water, which is a bigger molecule. And so what will happen when you drink this water? Of course, your body system, your basal metabolic rate, your cells are so happy. 50 trillion cells are very happy, they'll start working. But it's not that all the 50 trillion cells will be activated one shot, isn't it? Because many areas you just imagine the water, if it cannot go inside and give the water to the cells, and those cells of course would be looking for, but over a period of time when the proper blood vascular circulation is done there, definitely it will help you to move forward. Now here I wish to share something wherein as we grow older and there are a lot of plaques formed inside your vessels, so their blood flow will not be there. Now that's one of the reasons where you get a chest pain and then you have a heart attack, and then that's when we put you on a stent. Now this is where you need to understand that you need to consume foods which can enhance your circulation, which has more of arginine. When it contains arginine, it will actually enhance your blood flow. If you have more blood flow and when you drink this water, it gives you much better cellular hydration. And of course, because of the linear, it's all standing in one line, the hydration is much better. So like this we can talk about a lot of beautiful properties. Now the main drinking terrace water, what is the advantages? It can reduce the free radical damage in your cell. This is a very simple conclusion I can give you over a period of time. It's not just you drink for 1-2 days or 1 week or 2 weeks and then you can say I have a lesser radical damage. So in that way, it's always continuously you need to drink for a period of minimum 3 to 6 months, then you can see some good benefits. What is the advantage of this Terra's resonator device? Number one, very easy to operate, portable, power bank is good enough for you to operate, it doesn't need a plug point, can resonate as many times as possible. Every 3 minutes you put on another jug of water and then resonate it, it'll function. It's like a workhorse for us, because it's made like that. It's like a workaholic. It just does every 3 minutes it can redo the work, and can be safely used for drinking if kept in a glass or a ceramic container. Especially your drinking water, after resonating, you put it in a glass container. Of course you can keep it for a very long time. No hassles of worrying about the alkalinity water. Now here you imagine if you have an ionizer and you're collecting ionized water, especially 9.5 pH, you need to drink as fresh as possible. Between 15 minutes to 2 hours you need to drink the water. That is when the good quality of whatever the water is having, it will go inside. But with Terra's resonated water you don't need to. The reason is it breaks down all that molecule in such a small manner that your water should be pure clean water, then the efficacy is automatically high. But if you're going to resonate at 9 or 9.5 pH, of course your alkalinity will not be disturbed. It will be the same actually. 9 to 9.5, it will be the same after resonating the water. And of course you can use this water for many purposes, right from plants to animals. You can use the device for oil or other liquids. So it's a multi-purpose device wherein you not only water, you can use it for many other functions. And this is something I think most of you would have seen, how your cells are getting clamped. It is to convince anybody, this is the most easiest thing what we all can do is show them the blood test of themselves, and then after drinking water what happens. After that you don't need to prove anything for them, because they see it with their own eyes and they know what to do. Now this photograph, I picked it up today morning with my in my office. I have this beautiful hibiscus plant. Can you see how many flowers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flowers in one shot. Today morning all the flowers had bloomed actually, all 7 in one shot. And what I do is every day I make sure that I come down, speak to the plant, and then spray the terrace water, fill them. I said, now you're going to get hydrated. I spray on them, and all my plants, if you see, they'll be lush green. And the moment you see the plants itself, you feel very nice. And imagine, I feel that when we all connect with nature, there's a lot of calming effect. There's a lot of this is one of my stress buster actually. First of all, I don't have any stress, but still it really calms me to a very beautiful low level, and I enjoy this. So you also must have a lot of plants in your home, and without excuses. I stay in a 9th floor in a condominium, but I have more than 50 plants, and then all will be green with a lot of flowers. We enjoy. We don't need to go out anywhere to blend with nature. In fact, in my home, you won't believe, I have pigeons coming in and staying, hatching eggs. I have small sparrows coming down there. So it's a beautiful blend when these nature is there with you. And can you imagine these birds all the way will fly and come into my own home, build a nest, and then they are happy. We don't disturb them. Now in the whole condominium, my house is the only house which has all the plants. So I just blend with nature. So we all need to blend with nature, get inside. Now what we need to do, take home message is very simple: avoid free radical damage. This is very, very important in whatever little ways. Eat more of antioxidant food, rich food. We all have to supply the extra electron at all times, as we are continuously exposed to the free radical damage. So easiest is to drink the terahertz water and support the body. This is what we need to do, because this is what is we are having it. Now disclaimer, I don't need to repeat it. It is not a medical device. But of course, for me to close it down, I need to say you have to be cheerful all the time. How will you be cheerful when there is a less of stress, when your cells are less stressful, less of oxidative stress? And definitely you can be cheerful and free from all the free radical damage. And until I meet you back again, definitely thank you, bless you, and love you all for the wonderful time, wonderful patience of listening to my this one. Until I come back to you, thank you very much and have a fantastic week ahead. Madam Lee, over to you.